Okay, so we're going to go back in with the Layin Low Paint Pot from MAC. I'm just going to go back and do, just reprime the lid because it's kind of dried and it's no longer tacky. So, okay, so the first color we're going to go in with is this yellow. This is from Kiss Professional Cosmetics from New York. And I'm just taking this Amazon brush, like blending brush that I got. I'm just going to go ahead and start by layering this eyeshadow in the very front part of our eye. So we're just going to go right in here. Now this does have a little bit of sparkle to it, which I'm not really that fond of. But we're going to layer another yellow one. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe 35B palette. As you guys know, this palette is discontinued. I don't know why they discontinued it because it was probably one of the best palettes that they had. But hopefully they will come back out with like an even better version of it sometime in the near future. It's probably one of the only eyeshadow palettes I feel in the makeup industry where it had every color you could possibly need for you to create any look. So I'm taking the yellow from the 35B palette right here. I'm going to put that on top of the yellow that we use from Kiss Professional. I'm going to focus and concentrate this. Because I really want this yellow to stand out. And yellow kind of disappears. The Laura Lee Los Angeles Party Animal palette. And I'm just going to be taking this one right here. This is It's a Party. Same brush. And I'm just going to place that right up next to it so it easily transitions. This is kind of going to lay down as a base for the green that we're going to put down, so it's not a hard transition. It's a very soft transition right now because the colors are very similar to each other. But once we go down and lay down that green, you're not going to have so many lines of demarcation, if you know what I mean. Going in with this same 35B palette from Morphe, I'm going to go in with this green right here. And we're just going to place that down right on top of where we just placed that last green. Going back in with the same palette, I'm going to take a mixture of this green and this green, and I'm just going to make that green a little darker because I feel like it's just a little too light for what we're going for. So that, I'm going to place that same color right where we were placing the green before. Okay. And now I'm just really going to pack on that blue because our next color we'll be fading into will be purple. So, go into these two purples right here. This purple and this purple, and we're going to add this to the very outer corner. We're literally just going to layer this on top of the blue right here. So, I'm going to pop this right here. I'm going to put it on the outer corner like that. And I'm just going to start to fade it into that blue and dragging it out. Because this will be kind of elongated. It wasn't really elongated in the picture that I got the inspiration from, because I read in the comments that her eyes are hooded. But the way that my eyes are shaped, I like to drag my colors out a little further because I feel like it just flatters them a little more. Now, purple can be a very, 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 very overpowering color. Focus on me, camera. It can be a very overpowering color, so you're definitely going to have to go back in and re-solidify where your blue is at and all of that. That's it. And because I can tell, I'm going to go in with my finger and pat that purple, because purple is one of those colors where like it can be really patchy. I don't know if it's because of the components that it takes to make purple, that they're just not, they don't stick to things very well, but it's a very different color to have to work with. So I'm just going to go back in and make sure that we don't lose any of that blue. Now to help blend, focus, to help blend this purple out and everything on top, I'm going to take this pink. This is Bottoms Up from the Laura Lee Party Animals palette, and this is a Morphe M54 brush. I'm just going to take that and I'm going to take it right above that purple and that blue, and I'm just going to use that to fade it out so it's not got a super harsh line on it. Now, unless you're going for, because I feel like right now in the like fashion industry, in the beauty industry right now, it is very normal to be very unblended. Like that's like the new thing, is rather than blended and smooth, it's good to have like lines and shape and things be kind of like very strong rather than very soft. Okay, so going in with that Layin Low Paint Pot from MAC right here, I'm just going to take a flat shading brush like this. I'm going to take the Layin Low primer on both sides so that it becomes extremely flat and it'll lay down that product. This was a brush from the BH Cosmetics set, the pink set, so the brushes are okay, but I don't use them often, if that makes sense. Okay, so once I have the product on each side like that, I'm going to look down. I'm going to place that product on the center of the lid, and then I'm going to look up where that is creased at. Right there is where it's going to be my guideline, and I'm just going to start cutting the crease. So like I said, when you go to cut the crease, you realize how much of the eyeshadow you just put down goes away. So you're going to have to go back in and you're going to have to add those colors again. And we'll be doing that with a pencil brush. Now I can tell that I came out a little too high on this outer corner. So I'm just going to go in with a flat shading brush really quick. I'm just going to add some blue right there, just for the time being. I'm going to go back over it and cut it lower. Okay? After we have that cut, that's the rough draft of it. It's like, why did we even do all that work? Because all of it's gone. But we're going to work on putting that back in there. I am going to go ahead, fade this base out to right there. Okay? And then just take my finger and blend it out, because we will be placing some more eyeshadows down right there. We're going to go back in and we're going to add this color around, because I see that we have to take it higher. So I'm going in with the yellow. I'm pressing that right up against that line. Just like that, okay? Going in with this green, the darker one. Going right up against that line. Fading it up. Taking a large fluff fading it out. Going back in, pressing that pigment through. Blending the edges out. I'm going to do a mixture of this yellow and this green. Putting that in between, perfectly transition them. That's what I want. Now I'm going back into this Laura Lee palette. I'm going in with Damage Control and Karaoke. I'm going to place that blue down. Okay. Place that. Blend it out. Place it again. Fade it out. Go back into the green, the darker one. Go into this It's a Party. Go right in between there. Fade it out. Lastly, go into the yellow again. Fade it out. And then I am just going to kind of flick that primer out so it's got a little shape to it. But that's the gist of what we're going for. It actually looks really good in the camera. Okay. The 504 brush, we're going to dip back into our purples, and I'm just going to feather this on the outside, because when we go in with our foundation, we'll clean up this line right here. That's really not important. As long as the purple is there, we're good. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Morphe palette right here, and we're just going to go into the color Beam right here, and I'm going to set that blank space that we used the Layin Low paint pot to carve out. So I'm just taking it right up to the edge. To this darker red, this is from the Jaclyn Morphe palette. I'm just going to go into this one right here, and I'm going to put this on the very outer part right next to that purple. So, just like so, I'm going to fade that red into the purple like that, and I'm placing this at a diagonal. Okay. And then right on top of that, we're going to do an orange. So I'm going in with this orange, and this was an orange from the Morphe palette that I just put in one of these Z palettes. And I'm just going to go right next to that and put that in at a diagonal as well. I'm going to pat this color on because I don't want it to necessarily be faded out. I want them to be pretty apparent, if you will. So I'm going to pat that color on because I do want it to be pretty vibrant. Okay, so now that we have this, I'm really happy with this, so we're good. I'm going to go in with my NYX glitter primer right here. Same brush that I used to carve out. Wherever we put that white, we're going to put this Midnight White Glitter Down base too. So I'm just taking a little bit of this on the brush, and I'm just going to pat this everywhere where we put that white.